Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens Crappy Live. I'm Ronnie, and that's Ben over there. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How are
I'm
you?
good, honey. Welcome to your show. Welcome to your home. Welcome to your
Thank
home on
you.
the internet.
Thank you so much. I need the Crappens community now more than ever. I am happy to come back to the people. And I need you all to lift my spirits tonight because my sweet, sweet car Padma, well, the good people at the car dealership where I got her servicing, they lost the key. Padma is stranded and I'm losing my mind. Have you ever had a mechanic lose the key to your car?
I have not.
Well,
That has
I
never
have.
happened to me. I feel like I should be able to trust people. It's like dropping off your baby, It's like coming back and then them being
I
like,
know.
"Oh, sorry, don't have your baby. We just lost the baby." I mean, actually, I shouldn't put it that way because it sounds amazing putting it that way.
Yeah. Well, they lost the key. They lost the key and they're like, well, can we give you a ride home? You can pick up your spare key and come back. I was like, no, I've got to do shit at 5:30. I can't believe it. I'm so annoyed. If you've ever taken an Uber to Glendale, California, people, like to take an unnecessary trip to Glendale, that's hard. That's hard on the soul. So anyway, I'm
It's
so
hard, it's
annoyed.
far, and there's traffic, and then now you have to have somebody take you back over there all to get a stupid key, and are they even gonna find it? Like, where is the key? Maybe someone else
Well,
took it home,
I don't know if they're gonna find the key, but you know what? Keys to cars these days are so expensive. That key costs
Girl.
$1,000, and you better be sure that they're gonna pay for it. This
Yeah.
is what I get because my service plan's at a Ford dealership instead of a Kia dealership for
Hey, that's
reasons that
made
don't
in
even.
America, okay?
Yeah, well, guess what? The Ford of Glendale really fucked things up. But you know what?
Well,
Other
you
than
know what?
that,
I wish
though,
you got it at the Ford here in Texas, because you know what? Ford
what?
is the best in Texas. So
It's
sorry.
actually really fun taking your car to a Ford dealership for servicing because every car that's in the queue there is like an Amazon truck or like an ambulance. Like Ford makes a lot of just like, trucks for Americans who are working. And then my Kia slides in there because it doesn't make sense why I have a Ford service plan, but I just do. So this is my life right now. So I'm just saying I'm really frustrated and really annoyed that I wasted 90 minutes of my life Ubering over to Glendale for no reason and back. So I'm just happy to throw myself into some Bravo gossip and move on with my life.
Well, let's do it because there are way, way more lost things on Bravo than your keys. They're people.
Yeah,
They're people,
I know.
guys. Okay.
I know. Things get
People are lost.
things wind up in way worse shape than that key. I'll tell you that much on Bravo.
Now, there has been so much tiny news, so many little news
Little
stories. This has
news,
been a this
baby
has been a,
news.
a week
This
of
week on
not
baby
much.
news. Yeah, look at
Yeah,
baby
it's like
news.
not much, like tiny new, micro news stories. Now, I save links as the week goes on. I read them usually on Reddit. Thanks, Reddit. Bravo Real Housewives. Also, Real Housewives discussion over on Reddit. You might notice all your links here. It's because I steal them. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like a key worker with one of Ben's
One of
belongings,
my
if you will.
keys.
So I steal them, but I also save them up throughout the week. And this week I was looking over my links, and I don't know if we did this one already. We might have because it's
Some
been
of
in my
them looked
links.
familiar, but I can't remember.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do it again. So did we
Okay.
talk about Vanderpump Rules getting a spinoff? We did,
I
right?
feel like we did. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well,
It's hard to know.
supposedly they're doing the regular Vanderpump Rules. They're gonna keep that coming back because everybody has to see Ocean and what's
And like
Sheena's name? What are their
spray.
kids' names?
Spray.
Ocean Spray and So-So. All the
Yeah.
kids who
Ocean
are
Spray
growing
and
up
Sammy Sosa.
all the kids growing up mediocrely in the valley. We have to see how that works. So we're going to still get that show. But then they're supposedly doing a new Vanderpump Rules as
Oh,
well in Sir. And guess what? I went to the Sir Instagram just to see what life is like over there. Because, if you're going to do a show on Sir, you're going to have a cast who can carry it. I
yeah.
don't know, it's hard to tell just from pictures. We've seen a lot of them for years. Here's what I'll tell you that restaurant needs: a remodel. It needs some cleaning. It needs a paint job. You guys, it is chipped. You can see it in all the Instagram photos. I was like wiping my glasses to see if there was fog on my glass. It's dirty. It is dirty. Clean your restaurant before you sign on more shows.
Yeah, I mean that's a note that that Sir needed probably in its first 6 months of operating. To be honest, I mean, fix, turn on some lights, sweep some things, etc. Yeah, the restaurant is starting to look as old as its menu, and that's never a good thing because that menu was already like stuck in the 80s. So it's time to like get us a fresh coat of paint on those walls, change up the light bulbs in your Philips hues, maybe rethink the purple. Maybe it's time to go into a red or a fuchsia moment. I'm not sure, but it's time to spruce up. If the cameras are coming back in, it's time for a new look.
Guys, it's time to make an effort, okay? Do something over there. So yeah, I'm taking a look at their Instagram. I'm not really sure if I trust any of these people, but you know what? I didn't trust any of the cast of Vanderpump Rules, and I don't think you watch that show to really trust the people,
No.
But their Instagram address is Sir Rules. Their first post is a pin post, and it's just a close up of a wall, and then Guillermo comes from behind a corner in his Sir hat. You know what? That doesn't make me hungry. Just doesn't.
No.
First of all I see is your wood wall that's old and needs some painting, even though it's chipped and old on purpose. It's like Ken.
Yeah.
It's like the Ken of walls, if you will. But you need to change it. Then there's another shirtless Rico Suave guy, and his caption is "Keep calm and carry on." Which
shirtless Rico Suave guy. Wait a second, I am going right
his
there
shirt is
right now.
unbuttoned. He looks like a young Ricky Martin.
Okay, well,
very young.
Sir
He has a
Rules.
very bony chest. Which, hey, I'm not shaming it. I'm just saying I could play that thing.
Wait, we're looking
I could wash my clothes on it.
Are we looking at which picture? Sir Rules, but which one is this? The first one, the video.
Picture is the black and white.
Oh, that
picture of
guy.
The guy leaning on the door. So he has shirts unbuttoned, and
he does
like
have he has
chest.
His chest does sort of resemble like the back of an alien. I'm not gonna lie.
And it looks like he's holding an Emmy, but it's just like an air vent or something behind him. I was
yes,
like, sorry,
that is
missed out on the Emmy. This is the closest you're gonna get, person from Sir.
He's just leaning he's like, I'm going to put my elbow very close to the Sir fridge, hoping that elbows of the past that have touched it, like of Sheena's and Stassi's and Tom and Tom's, will then like fuse DNA with mine, and I will become a star in turn.
Yeah, and there are a lot of black and white pictures of like, younger, hotter people in the alley, in the smokers alley with upturned chairs. And I think it's like, is her shirt, are the boobies clear now, Sir? Have they just gone to the point where they're just like, your boobies are, we're not even going to cover you in a napkin anymore. You're just going out there.
There's a really funny image. So in the second photo, there's a guy who's sitting on a chair with an enormous right hand, by the way. Wow, that's a big hand. Is that that's hand
true.
That hand is like this.
Look at my hand.
That hand's the size of a foot.
You know that I'm a huge-handed person, so I see that hand and I'm like, oh my god, do you want to shake hands? I just hope that they're on the show just so we can shake hands one day. I could say, look, I'm someone else with gigantic hands.
So he's sitting there, and it looks like there is someone passed out on his shoulder, sagging over onto him, but it turns out that's just more of his hair. And then, like, right? Doesn't it look like it's just someone who's like leaning into his shoulder like this? But if you realize, then it's like, oh, that's just more of his hair, and that's another one of his giant hands.
Well, and the girl leaning on him also has very long hair. And let me tell you what I don't want from either one of you: hair. The food there sucks enough without both of you wisping your hair all over everything. I taste your hair from here, okay? And right across the street from that restaurant, as you know, is the Forever Chaz Dean billboard that's always there. I guess Chaz owns that billboard on Santa Monica Boulevard, and it's always Chaz's hair products,
always
possibly
Chaz.
killing people.
I went to a Pink concert a week ago, which was amazing. Pink, like, everyone should see Pink in concert. She's so great. She truly does fly through the air. It's insane, all the things that are happening. But she talks to the audience, and she talks to the audience a lot. And there was Chaz Dean in the front row talking to Pink, and he was on the Jumbotron and everything. And I was like, of course Chaz Dean is here. I'm surprised he hasn't erected a billboard on the stage. He is Bravo relevant in that he is frequently on Jeff Lewis shows. It's funny because all these pictures in the gallery, they're trying to make Sir look like this cool hipster black and white kind of place, but it just makes the place look like a dump. It looks like it was closed down for a nuclear spill.
Yeah. People in chat are saying that I'm orange today. Which I
It's
guess
you're
I'm
so
looking at
beautiful
myself.
right now. You're just like this gold. You're just like this beautiful orange, purple. Like the colors are so vibrant and lovely. I want to say
They're
also,
eating the cats. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
by the way, to Therese, whose comment I've highlighted here, she says the spinoff is going to be called Vanderpump Freak Off, which that's
Too
amazing.
soon, guys.
Too
Too soon. So yeah, the Puff Daddy stuff.
Yeah.
Not Puff Daddy. Do we call it P.
Diddy.
Sean
Sean.
Combs. Sean Puff Daddy P. Diddy Combs. A lot of trouble. Freak offs, sexual trafficking, sex trafficking, all sorts of shit going on with that guy. He finally got caught. He's going to jail. And there are Bravo people kind of caught in the crossfire, like Heather, hello, holler. P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, yeah. And everyone, people have been passing around the clips of Heather, loving the Puff Daddy. What do you think? Do you think Heather was ever a freak off girl? I just can't imagine.
No, there's no way. Heather is the queen of the freak out, and she would never be able to deal with all that baby oil. She's like, why do you have so much baby oil down here, mama? Huh? What's going on here, mama?
Yeah, I don't think
she would
the
not
inventor of their own shapewear would show up at a freak off. I know I would. I'm a shapewear person. I've always wanted man spanks, and I know I wouldn't be a freak off. I'd be like, get your hands to freak off my muffin top. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wearing shapewear.
I do not think that Heather was at the freak off. If she was, that's wild, but I do not think that she was there. Yeah, this is a wild thing. It does bring up a very important question, which is can MomTok even survive this? Not sure it can. Can MomTok survive the freak off? I mean, listen, MomTok was doing the soft freak off before Diddy ever was.
So am I losing? I'm less orange now, right?
Because you're less orange.
So speaking of MomTok, we are covering that show, but we are covering it week to week. So we're still behind. We haven't watched it all like you guys. So I don't know everything that's happened. We just got to the part where, Whitney's even more of an asshole, which I guess every week Whitney is more of an asshole on that show. But, there is some gossip there. You want to lead us off, Pan?
Yeah, I went and looked up some good old-fashioned MomTok gossip. First of all, the news is that Secret Lives of Mormon Wives has broken all the records for Hulu. It was like their most watched something or another. It got more ratings, or has gotten more ratings than the entire last season of The Kardashians, which is not good for Hulu, because that Hulu paid a lot of money for The Kardashians and probably not that much money for MomTok. So that just means that Kardashians, you guys better start showing up, because the writing is on the wall. We have now seen the limit of your abilities, and you're getting beaten by Taylor Frankie Paul. So, you gotta step up your Kardashian-esque. Chris, do your magic. But either way, really cool. And I think it's really cool that this show is breaking all these records, because to me, I feel like it probably pulls in two very big viewing communities. I feel like it's bringing in Bravo viewers who are already interested in Salt Lake City, and we also tend to be drawn to shows with female ensembles. But I also feel like it's probably drawing in TLC viewers who are into Sister Wives and things like that. What do you think? Why do you think it's so big?
Basic white girls upset about things. I mean, it's just the way the world goes. It's what we love.
RSV dances.
It's not even the dancing. I mean, it really gets good. And let me tell you, it is baby Karen tears. And we all know it, because that show really got good when baby Karen Whitney got upset and started crying about shit. That's really when the show got good. It's when she is the aggressor and she comes after people, and then when she's called out, she starts crying. She's probably going to call the police on somebody. Thank God there's no minority in the room, because the police would already be called.
Well, there is. I mean, there actually are. I mean, there you have Layla, who actually is black, and then you also have.
Well, but she's not in an argument with Whitney.
Right, exactly. The moment Layla gets into an argument with Whitney, the cops will be called. Don't you worry. And we do have Jen, who she's from Honduras, I believe. So, but the white girls are so white on this show that they seem to sort of take up all the space. And yeah, Whitney will call the cops. I'm surprised that it wasn't Whitney. Whitney probably did call the cops on Taylor in that first episode. I mean, she seemed to really know, whoever called the cops seemed to know a lot of what was going on, right? Like they seemed to know a lot about the arrangement of those two.
Yeah, well, some news that came out this week, I guess news, you call it news. Taylor, Frankie Paul, all three of you get down here, you bad boys. She was saying that she was approached by Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but she was deemed too boring, which I can actually see why, because she is really boring. I mean, for someone who's a swinger, who broke all the records, who's a complete train wreck, she really doesn't do much except live her life terribly. I mean, she lives her life in a really train wrecky kind of a way, but she doesn't do that much that's like TV worthy, except I guess trigger other people. So I guess that's something.
I think that she's probably benefited from being pregnant this season. Again, I'm with you. I've only watched I've watched through their the episode where they went away to like a penthouse. And
oh, you haven't seen the one we're recapping tomorrow or whenever?
Isn't that the one that we're recapping when they go to
where
like
they go off to the ski trip or whatever?
Yeah. Isn't that the one
we're seen that one?
I'm saying I've seen that one. Oh. What was I gonna say about this? Oh yeah, so Taylor, I think because she's like pregnant, she just doesn't have it in her I think she's too tired to be a disaster right now. So she's just sort of coasting off of like the "what did I do to you" thing, right?
Yeah.
But I
love that they tell her. She's like, "What did I do to you?" And they're like, "Well, you outed the swinging scandal and almost brought down TikTok." She goes, "Oh, what else? I mean, so swinging, big deal. What else did I do?" That's a pretty big deal. I mean, the lady's accusing you of coming on to her husband, and you're like, "Okay, so I tried to fuck your husband right in front of you. What else? You have anything else?" "Okay, you took one of my Starburst." I mean, what? What do you need? You need her to accuse you of murder? You tried to fuck her husband right in front of her. Isn't that reason enough to be pissed off at you?
By the way, what was it? Well, I forgot what I was gonna say. I had a big by the way moment. A big by the way, something about Mormons and Taylor, Frankie Paul.
Well, it's over. That ship sailed.
It's over. Well, so, either way, I do. Oh yeah, she was saying like, "Oh, I wasn't picked because I wasn't interesting enough." I'm like, also, you were probably the 28. Like, I don't think Bravo has ever hired a Real Housewife who's 28. Have they?
Whitney. Yeah, they hire housewives who are
Whitney was 28. Wait, how old is Whitney right now?
I don't know. She was like a little baby. I don't know. Maybe it's how she talks. I don't know. Was she never 28?
How old is Whitney Rose?
32.
37. She's 37.
So then that means she was like 32. Okay, whatever. So I was proven wrong yet again.
It's okay. Dom quietly just brought in a little apple with some almond butter on for me as a snack because he knew I didn't have lunch because I was off in Glendale not picking up my car. So isn't that just so cute? A little apple slice.
No, fucking dump him. You didn't have lunch, so he brings you a fucking slice of an apple with some almond butter. Get rid of him.
Well, I can't have a proper full lunch. I'll drive everyone nuts. Here, I'm going to mute myself so you don't have to hear me chewing like a barnyard animal.
Okay, let me get your snack in.
Let me activate you. Kyle Richards.
Don't want you to get grouchy over there. Okay, so let's see. Speaking of Kyle Richards, the other SLC thing, Secret Wives, was that Taylor, Frankie Paul's boyfriend or whatever, and her broke up. And we knew that was going to be a thing because she made a TikTok like, "I can't even watch a show because it's just so traumatic. But here's me watching the show to at least see some of our happy moments together." That's like, really? It's so traumatic that you had to put it on the TikTok. Get the fuck out of here. But I guess they broke up. His eyes still don't look right. And
I thought they were a forever
that's
couple.
Enough for them. Yeah, I thought they were going to last forever.
I thought they were going to
make so weird when you start fucking controlling fans from Instagram that it doesn't work out.
It's strange. I also read something that there was it's funny the amount of articles that have actually come out about this show because everyone's trying to find something, and there's actually not enough news about them to sustain the voracious appetite for articles. There was some article, I didn't even bother putting the link up because I was like, this is a non-story, and yet here I am about to talk about it. But apparently apparently MomTok is bigger than what we see. Like there's some girl named Miranda who's like a big part of MomTok. She has like 1.4 million followers. And Miranda was like, you know what? They called me, and then like a lot of different producers were calling me, and then they all were like asking for different things for me. And I decided to be best for me to like not be part of it. I was like, no, you just were not interesting enough. Miranda, don't act like you didn't want to be
Well, I
part
don't
of
know,
it.
because to them, this is small potatoes being on a TV show. It's like Hulu. Who watches that? You know, I've got. I put on a video that's 10 seconds of me doing an elbow dance while my baby's about to die of pneumonia in the hospital. I get 19 million views. Why the fuck would
That's
I want to
true.
come on your pitiful little 1 million view show? You know.
I know. Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, from the network that brought us Only Murders in the Building, starring that girl who I liked when I was like 12, and those two guys I've never seen before in my life.
Excuse you.
I'm saying that's what they would say. I'm saying that's what they would say.
Do not talk like that about my little Selena Gomez. She is traumatized by a lot of different things. I was reading about her today. That girl's like, so what? There's no shame in depression and not being able to conceive children. I was like, God, you are just a fucking joy every time. Like, literally, she can make the most depressing headlines of anybody I've ever seen in my life. They could be like, hey, Selena, how you doing? Unable to conceive and still suffering from depression. Thanks. Okay. Well, how do you feel about being a billionaire? Well, I'm not really sad about not having anybody to share that with. I mean, I guess I'm fine. Thanks for it's like, Jesus, Selena. God, go fly a kite, girl. Get out there. Do something.
Go fly a kite. Well, the kite's in the air. Oh, it just fell. Selena Gomez presents Kites. Now she's a 2 times billionaire. Kites are in, guys.
Wow, that
so
thing
anyway,
sure is flying. It's really pointed. I don't know if I like that. God, could you just enjoy it? For fuck's sake, Selena.
Enjoy your kite, Selena.
Enjoy the kite time, Selena.
What else can we do? We bought your albums, you know, despite the fact that there's not really any melodies on them. We bought your albums.
You leave her alone.
Just smile.
Poor thing.
Just
Bless
smile,
her heart.
Selena.
Bless her depressed heart. Okay, let's move on to some Bravo stuff. But that Secret Wives thing, anyway, basic white girls, I don't know. They've got me enthralled.
Wait, there's one more thing.
Okay.
Okay, I've got to open up this link because I saw this. Jennifer Affleck, Jen Affleck, second cousin of Ben Affleck by marriage, as we all know from the show. I saw this headline that says, Jennifer Affleck pens emotional message about marriage to Zach amidst attacks from Mormon Wives viewers. So Jen is getting it on all sides.
Oh, no.
So she's written a message to her Targaryen husband.
I've not read this, but this is great.
I haven't read it either. I just saw the headline. I was like, she wrote an emotional message. You know what's funny is that when I saw the headline, my brain actually said it was a poem. So I was even more excited. I was like, oh, it's not a poem. Okay, here's her message. Does anyone want to hear her message? We'll get through all of this until it gets boring. Okay, this is from Jen. She wrote this on Instagram, so it was really intimate. We were just kids when we got married. Young, naive, and inexperienced. Okay, pause. You're still kids. Okay.
But babies having babies. And just to prove it, the ad next to this is Dora the Explorer. New show now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Oh, mine says The Voice, which is something she apparently doesn't have in the relationship. So,
it's funny because that's what Jennifer Lopez also suffers from a lack of. She's kind of related to all these people too. Weird.
Well, apparently, whenever Jen Affleck needs something from her husband, she really has to make a strong appeal and wait for him to swivel around in his chair. She's like, "Yes, I get my Adobe store."
This is so long, and let me tell you what's going to happen here. I haven't read it. I'm just seeing the word count. Nothing happens in this post. I can tell you that right now.
Nothing. So, I'll read the first paragraph and then we can decide whether we want to go on. So she's saying that we're just kids when we got married, young, naive, and inexperienced. We truly had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. Coming from completely different backgrounds, families, and upbringings, it didn't seem to make sense. We were polar opposites. You, second cousins to Ben Affleck, my mom getting stuff thrown at her head by your dad until he realized he couldn't get married.
How could we make this work? How could we see the same picture? We didn't always see eye to eye, and a lot of times we still don't. But that's what marriage is. We keep trying. I truly believe there were lessons we both needed to teach each other. No, here's the lesson you're learning. Okay. You don't go marry some rich person and then support his ass while he's going to school. Let me tell you what's going to happen. This man is going to cheat on you and leave you the second he's a rich doctor. I guarantee you. And then he's going to have you working at that same hospital that his mom is. I can see this coming a mile away. And I wish you had a gay Uncle Ronnie or gay Auntie Ronnie over there to tell you this man is no good and you are fucked. This man is not going to be with you.
Oh, they definitely have a gay Uncle Ronnie. They just don't talk to him. They're like, we don't talk to
I'm
that
freezing
one.
out in the cold. I'm like, no, really?
Outer
Please let me
darkness,
in.
outer darkness. So yeah, she's like, yeah, I truly believe there were lessons we both needed to teach each other. I'm like, okay, we can start with hair color. That would be a good lesson for your husband. While we start there.
Yeah. So when we were dating, Zach bought me my first laptop when we had $10 in his bank account. Oh, and how did he buy your first laptop? That doesn't make sense. So now does he win a fucking award for having a Capital One card? He has rich parents. Okay. He
Yeah.
probably gave you his old MacBook Air, like first edition.
Yeah, when he only had $10 in his bank account, aside from the $40,000 his parents gave him in his trust fund, but which it actually would be much higher than that. When I shared my dream of running a marathon, he trained alongside me and ran it with me.
Oh, wow. Well, guess what? That's free. That's
I know. Really, that's dare to dream of running a marathon. Carol Radziwill did it. You can do it too. Okay. Oh, and then she goes, I told him I wanted to start my videography business. So he saved up money and bought me my first camera. It was a digital video recorder that had been antiquated for at least 15 years.
Girl, that was your iPhone. And you were paying for that. And then she says, oh, geez. And then she says, when I accidentally opened the window, when we were expecting our first baby, I wanted a place to call home. So he worked hard, saved up, and bought us our first house. Really? When you were pregnant with this child? What a fucking prince.
I know. That was so nice of him to do that. I hope you caught that all on video with your business.
What a sweetheart. A man actually making an effort to put a roof over the head of the woman pregnant with his child. That is crazy.
Let me just try to imagine what Jen's videography business was like. Okay, it's like this. Oh my goodness, it'd be so good with this footage. Let's play that Bruno Mars marriage song. It'll be so good. Cut to, oh my God, I love this video you took of a chipmunk. It'd be great with this. The Bruno Mars marriage song. Do that one again. Every song is just gonna have Bruno Mars, that marriage song. You know what I'm talking about? That marriage song.
Dun, 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 dun. I think I'm gonna marry you. Don't you hate that song?
That is the song that is made for Jen Affleck of the world to make videos.
Hey, baby, I think I'm gonna marry you. Ben's like, please stop with that song. I love that song. Remember when everybody was getting flash mob engaged to that song?
Yes. That Jen is she stays up late at night just watching those videos, that Bruno Mars song, just crying. She's like, oh, they're getting married. Literally the worst song in the world.
Love that song. So she's like, yeah, he got my video. He got my first thing. And then he gave me stability and freedom. And that allowed me to post videos online and launch my career on social media. Wow. He let you post to TikTok. What a fucking, this is amazing. I mean, basically he's Gloria Steinem. It's like at the forefront of women's rights. He let you press record on TikTok. Oh my God.
He is so supportive. We're still young and we have two precious babies and we still have struggles like so many marriages. Like, what did you do with my Bruno Mars CD? Why won't you let me play it anymore? But do we love each other? Yes. Are we willing to put in the work to be better? Yes. Does he only speak to me every third weekend? Yes. Have there been moments when we wanted to walk away? Of course. Were there other moments where you remember his second cousin is Ben Affleck? Of course. But there's so much more to marriage than Ben Affleck.
So she says, because I got to do those videos, now I get to support him and our family while he's been in school. And I couldn't have done it without Zach. Is Zach perfect? No. Does he have flaws that we needed to address? Yes. But I can confidently say that he's always supported and believed in me more than anyone else. Okay, I haven't even seen the episode that she must be defending. But apparently they all go to Vegas and he yells at her for going to some strip show while he's gambling her money away at the fucking poker table. This is not about how supportive he is or he let you do a TikTok. This is him being a controlling, abusive asshole while he's gambling your money away that you made when we all know he's going to leave your ass the second he's a rich doctor.
Do you think she's calling TikTok her videography business? Is that what's going on? Because when you say you have a videography business, to me that means you're filming like high school graduations, bar
Well,
mitzvahs,
she
and
started with
weddings.
videography business, but now she got on TikTok and that made her famous. So why would she film someone's wedding? You know, she's not going to go work with those basics. She's rich and famous now.
Wow. Well, good luck to them. Sounds like their relationship is in a great place and nothing could possibly go wrong. I'm sure they're gonna make it.
Also, you guys lied about being Ben Affleck's relatives. We all know it. I said it last week. Now things are coming out on Reddit that looks like someone did a genealogy thing that proves it. You guys are full of shit. And I hope that you don't feel totally lied to because you were. You didn't even get to marry Ben Affleck's cousin. You married a liar. Okay. Good luck with that. Good luck with your terrible man. But also run away because you seem like a nice person. Okay. I
By
don't
the
know why I'm
way,
so mad at you in this post. I just hate people defending people. I hate people defending men like this. You know, your defense of men like this keeps men like this in circulation. He's like a bad dollar. Take him out of circulation. Print a new dollar.
by the way, you know that Me Too really worked because she didn't even brag about being related to Casey Affleck.
He looks more like Casey Affleck in that movie where Casey Affleck was a bleach blonde kid. Do you remember that with Bette Midler? It's a long time ago.
What?
It was an indie. Yeah, Casey Affleck and Ben.
It
I'm gonna
wasn't
look
a
it up.
Was that film forum? Wait, what? Wait, Bette Midler did an indie movie?
She was a grumpy old lady. It was called Drowning Mona.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that wasn't an indie. I thought that was just a flop with David Hyde Pierce.
You know, any movie that I don't remember very well, I just say it's an indie.
Bette Midler, David Hyde Pierce, and Casey Affleck in the Sundance hit Drowning Mona.
I think it was. I mean, I think it's an indie anyway. Because Bette Midler was like really old and cranky and didn't let herself be glammed up. And that's what actors do. You know, they're like, I'm going to do an indie where I'd let them show my age. And that's how I'm going to get my Oscar. Because I think this was around when she didn't get her For the Boys Oscar. So she's like, I'm going to do an indie now.
Oh yeah, he definitely wasn't Drowning Mona. You're correct. Okay, here's
And
who
like
else is in the
blonde.
Here's who else is in this indie movie: Danny DeVito, Nev Campbell, friend of the Real Housewives, Jamie Lee Curtis, and William Fichtner. That's fun. That's a fun cast. It's actually a great cast.
It was a good movie. You know, for the
Oh
five
my
of
God,
us who saw it because it was independent.
it's so appropriate for today. The plot, the first line of the plot: Mona dearly can't unlock her car, so dot dot dot. I'm like, that's what's happening to me. I am Mona right now. I can't get into my car because someone lost my keys.
Yeah, she's a grumpy old lady that everybody wants dead. It's basically my future. That movie. Let's all watch it together. Okay, so what else is going on? Some little gossip here and there. We'll get back to Bravo. Sorry, that was a long basic white girl stretch, but you know what? I needed it. I feel better.
It's good. It's good.
Some more basic white girls, Kyle and Morgan. Kyle Richards. It was rumored this week, and by rumored I mean I saw it in some gossip thing on Reddit. Let me see. Do we believe this, T? This was from the Real Housewives zone. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Kyle Richards allegedly was close to coming out with Morgan Wade until she saw text messages with another woman. What?
And then she apparently was so, I don't know if she was embarrassed or enraged, but I guess she didn't want that to be part of the storyline of the show, so she didn't bring it up. So, you know, another win for being open and honest on Beverly Hills.
Yeah. And Reese Witherspoon, possibly speaking of Kyle, Reese Witherspoon, this is from dailymail.com. Reese Witherspoon hints that she has an upcoming project cooking with a mystery Real Housewives star after they sat on a plane together. And people are guessing it's probably Kyle.
I mean, that's ridiculous. We all know it's Quinn Fry. It's obviously Lynn Curtin. No, the one that was sitting next to her, most likely Deshawn Snow. I would love it's just some random Real Housewife who just somehow got the ear of Reese Witherspoon.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Do you think it's Kyle?
I don't care. I just wanted to say Reese Witherspoon because I love her.
I think that realistically, it's got to be someone who is sitting in first class, So I think it's going to be Kyle. It could be Kyle. It could be Bethany. I don't know who else is really.
People are saying it's Kyle or Garcelle. I would agree that
Could be Garcelle.
those sound right to me personally.
Yeah, well, I think does Kyle fly private though? Although I guess now that I feel like she would fly private.
I don't know. She flies a lot, and she flies with a bunch of people who might not be able to afford the price. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't care enough about Kyle to speculate. Even though I was the one who brought it up, but I will say,
Could be Jenna.
I was going to come up with something to say, but I couldn't. But I think it's them. I think it's probably Kyle because she is always pitching. Kyle may be a terrible monster of a human, but she hustles. She's always out there selling stuff, and she actually sells it. So she talks people into doing her stuff.
She does do that.
And they always fail, but they still do it. They still make it. So good for her. And I think that she talked Reese Witherspoon into it.
Well, Lala Durga in our comments says maybe it was TV's Heather Dubrow. Well, television's Heather Dubrow.
Says maybe it's a show on the HD network.
Heather Dubrow recently took some photos with Sabrina Carpenter. So I would love to know the backstory on that. Did you see those photos?
What was that?
It's just like Heather with photos with Sabrina Carpenter, and I don't understand the context of it. I don't know if like Sabrina came up to Heather or Heather went up to Sabrina, but
oh really? You don't know how that happened? Really?
Hello, youngster. Have you ever heard of Malibu Country? I once had an arc on that show, and I was a smash hit. So I was wondering if you would like my autograph.
I think that Sabrina was like, "Oh my God, I'm like such a young new starlet. It's so great being here on a red carpet. Why is it getting shade? Why is there shade coming? Are there clouds gathering overhead?" And then Heather, just like a marionette puppet, just appears with giant black eyes above them. Hello, my name is television's Heather Dubrow.
I've made a deal with the devil that as long as I keep killing my co-stars, I can interface with young celebrities. So, unfortunately, Wendy Malick had to go. And here I am.
Hello, poor person.
Oh, so you want a facelift, huh? You'll have to go through me if you want to get to Terry. Have me on your show.
Let's see what else is happening on that show. Emily went on Jeff Lewis and was like, "Go, whatever." Talking about Alexis, and then Alexis has been making the rounds, talking about how she's really sick of Bravo because they are making her look bad, and she's really not an asshole at all. It's just how they're editing her, which is pretty hilarious.
Oh, okay, yeah. First of all, Alexis, you're never gonna win the battle by saying that Bravo is being mean to you. Bravo is not going to say, you know what, we are being mean to Alexis. Let's just change our editing and make her look really good the rest of the season. I guarantee the moment you poke that bear, those editors are shady, okay? Especially on Orange County. They do all sorts of tricks on that show. So don't get on their bad side. Don't blame the editing, because the very first thing they're going to do is start shading you in ways you can't even imagine via Final Cut Pro.
Yeah, so that's them. What else is going on in this world?
Well, let's see. Well, Heather Dubrow is addressing cheating rumors. She was saying something along the lines of like, it's funny that people are saying that Terry is stepping out on me. I mean, look at me. I look pretty good. I don't look that cute today, but I generally look really good. Why isn't anyone saying I'm cheating on Terry? Which is such a Heather Dubrow response.
But, like the paparazzi photos, people will say he cheats on me, said Dubrow. It's like we're together 24/7. When is he cheating on me? And by the way, all right, I don't look very good right now, but I'm cute. Yeah. Why does no one think I'm cheating? Because you seem like you're made out of a branch and a couple of string. You look like a doll that was made to scare children in the woods. Okay.
I mean, do I have afternoon sexual activities with Drake next door. What? Who said that? Did someone start a rumor about me and Drake? That would be terrible. I don't want people to think I'm relevant. I'm just a housewife. I'm not part of pop culture. I would never, ever be a sexual conquest for rap industry's Drake. That would be wild. Who's putting those rumors out there? Ha ha ha.
I am a very secure grown woman. And I would never stay in a relationship that wasn't serving me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no one's saying that you're staying in a relationship that's not serving you. I'm sure the relationship is serving you just fine. That's why you're staying in it. Now, I wouldn't stay with someone for the children. I wouldn't. I would move on. You'd stay with somebody for $100 million. Isn't that what you're worth? I mean, how much is that? And by the way, that's your money too. I'm not saying that's Terry's money, because at this point, that's their money. They built that house. I think that probably the majority of it, I would say, is probably hers, right? Because she built that mall house mostly on her own.
Yeah. By the way, I love that she said I wouldn't stay in a relationship that wasn't serving her, or it wasn't serving me. Like, of course, Heather Dubrow wants to be even served by the relationship.
Yeah. Now, do I complain about this service? Do I give the service 10% occasionally? Sure.
Hello, this relationship has to enter through a secret side door into our house.
Does Terry ask for split checks in the service and occasionally take a doggy bag to feed some strange woman? Probably. Wait a minute. I need to get out of this restaurant.
Do you think Heather would be good on the Traitors?
She would be fucking insufferable. You know what? I would love to see Heather on the Traitors, because I would love to see normies reacting to Heather, because I think we've all become just so accustomed to how Heather acts. Even I find Heather amusing these days. She used to really trigger me, and you wouldn't be able to tell it in today's show. But actually, I mean, I think she's been fine for the most part this year. She's been enjoyable. So we're so brainwashed, once you get to know people. I mean, look how well you deal with me. Most people can't, because you've gotten to know me.
Shush, Ronnie. Stop it.
But I think it would be fun to watch normal people who have never been exposed to her before, exposed to her for the first time.
Like, I think she would be actually so amazing on the Traitors, because first of all, her at the round table, she would be terrifying. She would just have them all killed all at once. She's like, you are a traitor. You are a faithful, but you dress poorly, and you have no IMDb. You all should leave. And they're like, well, I guess I gotta leave.
Yeah, I think she would too. She'd be like, that one ate carbs. That one ate 3 dinner rolls.
Put that one in jeans.
Every time Alan came in, she'd be like, oh, good. Have you made up my room?
Oh, good. I'm so glad the butler is back. Is there another floor to this castle, by the way?
She'd be trying to brand every event to sell her own shit.
Before we have our accusations around this round table, I would like to welcome Susan Bender, who is going to be outfitting you all in blazers and just some basics. Also, here is a meal complimentary of the HD Network. It's a cucumber slice on a little creme fraiche foam. Thank you.
Oh, Heather. Look, I don't know if Terry is cheating or not. I assume all men cheat. So that's kind of where I'm coming. I'm a cynical person, especially rich men, because I think poor men are they have too much to lose, but rich men are like, go ahead, take half my 50,000 million trillion dollars. I don't care. I would say that. Now I will say Terry's got to be exhausted. He works a million jobs. He got the Mama Elsa. And I know just at 50 already, I still can get horny or whatever, but I'll need a helicopter before I get going. I mean, how long does that guy sit there swinging it around in a circle before he can finally climb on top of somebody? At some point, it just becomes exhausting. It's just easier to stay home.
I personally am really enjoying Terry's hair this season. I don't know if it's like a little wig or if it's just what's left of his hair or whatever. And I'm not here to shame balding, because I am balding. I'm losing my hair. Ronnie, you are bald. We all go through it. It all is the process. But I think that Terry's way of coping with it, he sort of has his hair in this little way that just reminds me of my grandma. R.I.P. Grandma Sally. It was just when Grandma Sally was, I think, about 85, 86, she literally had Terry Dubrow's haircut. And I think it's so sweet that he has that.
He really does have my Auntie Louise's hair. Friar tuck hair.
It's like this thin, sort of sideways, sort of trapezoid. And I just, it's so sweet.
Yeah, it is sweet. He does have sweet little cheater hair. Good for him.
Sweet little grandma cheater hair, you know?
At some point, your husband or your wife, really whoever you're married to, you get to an age where you could just get in a bad mood and just stay in a bad mood forever. Just stop wanting to do stuff. I'm already getting to that point. So I would just say if I'm married to a man that's like that far along in life and he's that rich, he could quit. He could just become a grumpy old fucker and do nothing and, just golf all day. But he doesn't. So I say if he's out there cheating, good for him. He's out there making an effort towards something, and
Yeah.
sometimes that's the least you can ask for. Your morals change a little bit as you age. It's not, is he cheating on me? It's like, is he staying active? Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone says, why doesn't Terry fix his hair? If you have money, you can have hair.
No,
Well, that's
Bruce Willis doesn't. That's always been my argument about taking any balding stuff or putting on the Propecia or whatever. If it worked, Bruce Willis would have hair. That's it. Done. Mic drop. Okay.
Yeah, I do feel like when it comes to cosmetic surgery and wigs, it's just the technology is just so much farther behind for men. I think there's just more of a demand for women. So women's wigs, women's, facial surgery, all that stuff is really good. But for men, like we're still stuck in the 70s. Like when people put on their toupees or whatever, it's literally like a helmet. It's like a motorcycle helmet. I mean, it's just not, it's rough.
I think that they're getting better for men for sure, and they're pretty obvious, but I think that they look a lot better on men, but people are so harsh towards men with wigs.
Yeah.
They just rip them apart. Like you can't get anywhere in a wig without people just ripping you to shreds, but then you can watch his MomTok. Those people are wearing 30 pounds of hair on their head. They look ridiculous.
Yes.
They look like they're wearing a whole other person on their head, and no one makes fun of that. I mean, except us, but still.
Yeah, we really should normalize male wigs because, like, they'd be fun. I think the problem is that the wigs just have to look a little bit better. Like, I think we need to like improve. It's just hard because I guess like a lot of men have like short cropped hair, and like that's where you can really see where a wig is a wig.
I think it's just like so much easier for women, you guys. Like the world is basically built for women. Okay.
It's just a shame. Like men really don't get anything.
Men don't get anything.
Men are not prioritized.
It's really hard for men in this world, guys. Okay, so Monica Garcia got a villain's gig. So that's something. She's not on it.
Good.
She's the narrator, I think. Let me look to see what the story is.
I feel did they just sort of patch her in or something like that?
I don't watch Villains, which is terrible. I heard it was actually good.
heard it's
After
good.
being at the epicenter of Salt Lake City's most explosive and controversial season to date. Sorry, Heather Gay, are you going to cancel E! Online now? The Bravo alum is joining season 2 of House of Villains, but it's not exactly what you think. I'm back, bitches. Monica announced on her Instagram. That's right. It's the one and only Monica Garcia. And if you thought you knew me from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, think again, because this time I'm not just stirring the pot, I'm narrating the whole damn show.
Who thought that was a good idea? Okay, you can say a lot of things about Monica, but one thing you can't say about her is that she has a voice for narration. She's like, previously on the House of Villains. I'm like, I don't think I want to hear that.
Monica is one of those people I can almost guarantee no one has come up to in the street and said, you know what? You should do voiceovers. No one has ever said that to her.
No one's ever said that. Now, what I would like would be Monica and her mom doing voiceovers and trying to do the same lines. Monica Darnell, I said I would be doing this line. Mom, you're such a fucking bitch. This is my line. No, this is my line. They produced it for me. They said this would be my line. Mom, why won't you let me get ever in a moment ever?
Yeah, truly. The only way this announcement would have been better is if the mom came up and just pushed her down the stairs. So that was that one. Jax was booed at a Giggly Squad show. Did you hear of this?
I love this. Yeah, I saw the video. This was wonderful. First of all, I'm also bummed because I didn't even realize the Giggly Squad had a show this weekend here in LA. I totally would have gone. I'm really bummed that I missed it.
Okay, well,
that's neither here nor there. I don't know.
So what happened? You saw the video. You tell me what happened.
So basically what happened was I think that Jax and Tom Schwartz were in the audience, and I don't think they were planned to be there. And it was audience participation, passing a microphone, something like that. So Jax stands up and everyone starts booing. And Jax is like, "Well, thanks for having me here." And the person who's holding the phone goes, "No one's having you here," which was great. And there's just like a lot of booing. And then Tom Schwartz stands up, and everyone's like, "Oh!" Everyone's like, "Boo!" Like it's just like, "Oh God, it's a 2-for-1 special." And then Jax is trying to say something. We hear Hannah saying something. The article says that she said something like, "Which Tom?" And then Schwartz tries to talk. Jax then sits down because he can't really get a word in edgewise. And Tom tries to say something. But like really the audience is like, no, we are not here for this. I don't even know why they tried. It's one thing for Jax to crash a Crappin show. But to crash the Giggly Squad, which is going to be so like, that's really just like hardcore, like, you know, though that's like, that is a true, just like all female situation. And like,
Yeah,
I
but
don't know
you
what
never
he
know
thought he
because
was
he
going to get.
still has people surrounding him, wooing him wherever he goes. I mean, he has his own bar in the Val, and that place is always packed with people just dying to see Jack. So he probably thinks he can walk in there and still get people. You never know with fans, you know. Sometimes the fans will just kiss his butt. So maybe he was expecting that. And I really respect the listeners of that show for not having it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Giggly Squad listeners, for booing Jax into being silent because yeah, like the fact that he thought he was gonna be able to stand there and do his spiel, and he was smiling and trying to be charming and everything. It's like, nope. Also another article that you pulled was that Brittany, speaking of Jax, Brittany, she has a revenge body and it's gonna be debuted in season 2. The valet, yeah.
Every time I get hungry, I don't even eat anymore. My revenge body just says, the sound effect
my
from the
revenge.
TV
I
show
look
Revenge.
I just cross off my body, just like in that show Revenge.
I cross off my own face every morning.
I look at my revenge body, and my revenge body in the mirror looks back at me and says, "You're a cool guy. You're a cool guy.
You're a cool guy, Kingsley." Okay, so here's my first question about this revenge body. I'm looking at the picture right now. It's posted in the U.S. Sun. She's also got a revenge face. Let me tell you, these people don't just sit around in the off season. They are tuning their. If your body is your temple, these people are constantly redoing Notre Dame. Okay, it's like someone comes into Notre Dame at the end of every season and burns it down, and then they just put some scaffolding up. I can't wait to see what we get next year. But she's got a new face, a new body. Everything looks great. Also airbrushed, very highly airbrushed. Okay, but still, you still look great. And I want to know if Kyle Chan owns an air sculpt company, because you remember Kristen during her season was like, that's Kristen doesn't. She's like, I got air sculpting. So that's like some kind of lipo that you can do that's easier. I don't know. And so she got it, and now Britt got it. So they're all getting free air sculpting somewhere. Kyle Chan, puff puff give, babe.
Remember when Kyle Chan, when Tom Sandoval had no one on Vanderpump Rules to even shoot with, so he had to commission Kyle Chan to be like his buddy to go out with, and so like they would go to like the Sky Bar, and Kyle Chan's like, "Hey, bro, like what's the haps? What's happened? All these girls got you down, am I right, yo?" I'm like, "Okay, Kyle Chan, you're doing great, sweetie."
Yeah, he's like, guys, Tom didn't mean it. Let's forgive Tom. Guys, let's find forgiveness in our hearts. By the way, does anybody need 20% off? Nobody's getting married this season? Nobody?
I could have sworn I heard that Bruno Mars marriage song. Sorry, just showing off my real. Oh, Jen Affleck, get out of here.
So one of the captions, this has nothing to do with anything, but one of the captions under one of these pictures says, Jax Taylor seen after his bipolar diagnosis post-rehab at his bar. Is there a more Jax caption than that? Jax Taylor
Nope.
seen after his bipolar diagnosis post-rehab at his bar.
Well, I think the only way it could be more Jax Taylor would be Jax Taylor post rehab, post bipolar diagnosis at Planned Parenthood, paying for the lady he met in Vegas.
All right, everybody. That brings us to the end of the news section of Crappy Hour. So if you're listening if you're listening on audio, that's the end of the show for you. If you're with us on YouTube or Instagram Live, guess what? We're going to talk to you next. If you want to talk to us, come back every other Monday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. And thanks for being with us. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Listener.
now, Ben, what do you want to do?
Yes.
Let's invite some
Let's bring
people
some
up here,
people up.
shall we?
Here, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. How about that?
Beat you, batch. Just did that. So if
You
anybody wants to
are
come
a
up here, the
little.
link is now in the chat on YouTube. Comments. Come talk to us.
Gonna find out.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about? Mary Cosby is suing people for millions of dollars for embezzling from her church. Damn it.
Oh man.
We could have talked about that. Now my dreams are dead.
Taryn asks, "Did Tamara hear your song?" I'm not sure. I'm not sure because you know we put.
Uh-oh. Did you disappear? Are you still my friend?
I don't know what's going on here. Is my
happened?
Wi-Fi being handled by Ford of Glendale?
They're like, sorry, we lost your Wi-Fi. Yeah,
Shanna
people,
says, "Let's
go
talk about
ahead. You
Brittany
cut
and the
off for a
homies."
second. We don't know if
I'm sorry,
Tamara
I don't know
heard the
what's
song.
happening.
We don't talk to them every day. Well, what the hell do we know? You know?
Yeah, we don't know if they heard the song, but maybe. It looks like we have someone who's coming. Is that you want to come on stage, Kay? Because we're gonna bring you on
All
stage.
right,
We
let's
don't see
talk
your
to Kay.
video, but maybe you'll be audio only. All right, let's bring up
Okay,
Kay.
let's. Oh, I
Hey,
just muted
Kay.
her.
Oh, hey,
Hi,
Kay.
Kay, you
What's
there?
going on? Every kiss begins with
Okay.
you. I don't know if you know about this. Okay. All right, Kay. We'll come back to you. Ah. This is what happens when two of us are hitting the button at the same time. Everyone,
My hands are off. My hands are off.
I'm getting fuzzy apparently.
It's
okay.
up to you.
I'm gonna bring up Trash Possum. Green. Oh, hey, Trash Possum. What's going on? How are you,
guys.
sir? Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Good to
How
see
are
you.
you?
Good to see you, honey.
Great. Thanks.
Oh, right back at you, handsome. What were you talking about? I wanted to ask the whole Heather, like the whole two T's talking about your Heather drama. To me, it felt so old news because I feel like this happened to you guys like forever ago. How do you feel about them like bringing it back up and just like putting it on the forefront again? Because now they're like using it to promote the two T's podcast. Like, do you care or is just like, eh?
I don't personally care. Actually, I feel like it comes up a lot. I feel like, when I was doing all those guest podcasts in August, it was coming up there. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. You know what? Heather made a choice. And
It's part of
again,
your greatest hits now.
what'd you say?
It's part of your greatest hits now.
I mean, it's an honor. It's an honor
I mean, I
to
feel
have a housewife
stupid,
disputing
honestly.
with us.
Sometimes it's not worth it saying anything about it, like getting all pissed off like I did. But I feel kind of stupid about it because I feel like it looks like I'm trying to make drama with some housewife to get ratings or whatever, but I'm not, and I don't care. And it's over. And we don't even hate Heather. It was just like one little thing that happened, and I was like, fuck that lady. And then we moved on with our lives. So it's funny, but I think it's just part of that. Like if you have any kind of gossip with anybody, people are going to talk about it. Maybe we should do it more. I think we should probably get into shit with more people.
We probably would never have said anything. I personally was never going to say anything, except the fact that people started to ask us, why did Heather unfollow you? Like people noticed it. And it's like, why should why should we come up with some sort of like cover story or whatever? Like there's nothing, like this is her choice. So why should, because then like I don't want to lie or be dishonest or skirt the truth with our audience. So for something so stupid, again, like Ronnie said, I really enjoy Heather. I enjoyed her off camera. I enjoy her on camera. She's annoyed at us. So be it. She'll get over it. And I'm looking forward to seeing her again someday.
All right. Good talking to you. We'll see you later. Thanks for coming on here. Now let us talk to you, you gorgeous Mallory.
Hi.
What's up?
I wanted to ask if you guys already talked about the David Bador and Leslie stuff that came out.
We didn't.
About the restraining order.
Ronnie, can you talk about that?
Yeah.
I saw that link, but I didn't actually click on it.
Yeah, we have so many here and so many where nothing is happening. But I was like, wow, David Bador, another abuse story. I just kind of skipped over it. But yeah, David Bador and his wife are filing for divorce again. He's accusing her of extortion. She's accusing him of abuse. These two are a mess. They've been a mess for they've been filing and going through this forever. How many times have they filed?
so many times. I think at least like she did it, then he did it, then she did it again, and then he did it to her again. It was like Drew and Ralph like trying to beat each other to the courthouse. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
then them staying together. And then also he had said something that like Shannon was a saint compared to Leslie, which made me laugh so hard. Just
Yeah,
because
that's
he's such an ass to Shannon. So it was
I
like,
think there are little signs that he regrets how he behaved with Shannon. Well,
Yeah.
not only that, I mean, that's not even a sign. That's him clearly saying something. But I thought it was interesting that Shannon is kind of accusing her ex of coming after her for extortion, which is true. And it's
Right.
like David sees that, and now he's accusing his soon-to-be ex of extortion. It's like, really, David?
Like
You hate
small
Shannon
scale.
so much that you're like literally taking from her playbook in your current.
Yeah.
Like, come
And-
on, you can't even get your own storyline now, David. Come on.
He's desperate to come back.
yeah.
Vicky had also posted, I can't remember where it was on Instagram under some post that like, oh, Vicky, someone said Vicky didn't lie because Leslie was claiming domestic violence in the suit as well.
Yeah.
And Vicky commented under it and was like, I never lie, which is a
Oh
lie.
yeah.
But
I never lie
like,
unless it's about cancer or
my
pretty
boyfriend.
big. Yeah, pretty big one, Vix.
Multiple partners.
Thank you, Mallory. Good ones to bring
Thanks,
up. Let's
Mallory.
do one more quickie to close us out. Shanna Banana. What's up?
Hey, Shanna.
How you doing? What's up tonight? Can
How are
you hear us?
you?
Peppers.
Hey.
I want to take a moment to discuss your appearance on Jeff Lewis and
Okay.
2 T's in a pod.
Okay, which one? What you want to talk
I
about?
mean, just free for all go.
Okay. Well,
Obliterated opinions.
well, I mean, I found both to be really fun. I mean, Jeff, we've gone on Jeff several times now, and it's always super fun. And that was our first time dealing with Tamara and Teddy. And I was like, how is this going to be? We've talked so much shit about them before on the show. And I just reminded myself, it's sort of like also how I felt going on to Melissa Gorga's podcast. And again, I haven't talked that much shit about, I mean, I've talked shit about Melissa Gorga, but like, I haven't, but Ronnie is the one who really can't stand Melissa. Not to throw you under a Melissa bus there, Ronnie, or anything like that. But the point is, sometimes you have this apprehension going on to these things. And I just reminded myself, there's nothing that we've said that could be any worse than what their castmates have said to them. Like, because if you really think about it, the vile things that people have done to them in their own casts and families is nothing compared to anything that Ronnie and I say. And we're just, having fun on the internet, doing our podcast. So I just reminded myself of that. I personally found Tamara and Teddy to be very funny on their podcast. Like, they rolled with punches, I mean, we talked about how Teddy and Ronnie did get into a fight over Kyle, but it was like when the fight was over, it was just like we just moved on, and like, I admired that they were not like, they were just like, yeah, whatever. They're shit talkers. We're shit talkers. It seemed actually like a pretty chill vibe. I thought I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, Shanna. Good to talk to you.
Shanna.
And that brings us to the end of Crappy Hour. Everybody, thank you so much for being with us. We'll be back every other week, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. Okay. Love you guys. Talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.